Lately there have been some really strong energetic pulses and energies coming into our atmosphere, into our lives, and from what I've noticed, quite a lot of Blu-ray beings have been feeling it. Blu-rays are sensitive, so I decided to make a video about it. Hi and welcome back. My name's Francisca and I make spiritual videos, quite a few videos about Blu-rays and the energy and principles around being a Blu-ray being and what that's all about. But at the moment we've got some really strong energy coming into this earth plane. Well, they're everywhere. And yeah, it's kind of triggering people, pushing buttons, bringing up things that, you may have thought you've already dealt with. Things where you're going, what's that doing in my face? I've gone past that. So if you've had experiences like that, don't worry about it. It doesn't mean you haven't done your growth. It just means you're dealing with very deep layers of things you have already dealt with. If you think about energy, things that we grow through, that we work on, that we learn through, like blockages or anything like that, if you think of it as being passed over several times rather than just once, each layer gets that little bit deeper and yeah, eventually it's gone. But at the moment we've got like energy, they're almost like pulses coming in, like there's a pulsing energy which is speeding up everybody's energy field. We're all electrical beings, and everybody's energy bodies, chakras and energy systems are pretty much feeling it. And Blu-rays are very sensitive and aware beings, so it's pretty powerful for Blu-rays at the moment. So if you need to just pull back a bit, relax, have a warm bath, read a book, do whatever you need to. Yeah, take good care of yourself. Good self-care is really important. It's been quite intense lately. We've also had an eclipse, a very strong full moon. We've had Mercury retrograde. I think Pluto was in retrograde, and who knows what other planets. So the energies have been quite intense, kind of stirring things up. So if you felt kind of like things have been a little bit much, or you felt like your buttons have been pushed, then yeah, that's quite normal at the moment. These energy pulsations, or whatever you want to call them, that's what they feel like to me. It's like they're coming in waves. They're there to clear stuff in us. We're energetic beings, but we also have physical bodies. And as we clear our energy field, we also lift things out of our physical being that may have been there for a while. So these waves of faster energy will speed up our own energetic systems. I'm trying to describe this how I see it, how I feel it. And it's quite hard sometimes to get the right words for it. But if you think about a chakra and it's spinning at its speed that's natural and normal for you, everybody has a different rhythm. I've done a lot of energy healing, and yeah, the trick to doing that well is actually to tune into the client's rhythm, not to try and force it or push it, because that can unbalance them. But anyway, so as this chakra spins and then these energies come in, they'll speed it up a bit. So you may feel a little bit sort of restless, agitated, maybe can't sleep quite as well. Things are just kind of annoying you more than they used to do, or you're just feeling more hyped up. You might be just feeling extra energetic and extra wound up. On the other hand, it can go the opposite way, where it actually makes people quite tired that the energetic system is moving that fast. The physical body can kind of go, oh no, this is all a bit much, and need rest. So listen to that. If your body's saying, I need to rest, then allow it to rest. It's sending you that message for a reason, because it needs to be quiet and it needs to rest so that it can adapt and clear and heal and adjust to these energies. It takes time and it takes energy for all of that to adapt and adjust. But where it's all taking us, these pulses, these energy waves at the moment, they're taking us into a place of being more empowered, more truthful, more outspoken, and standing up for truth, especially for blue rays. Many of us held back for years and years and years and didn't say what we saw or felt, or because we thought people would think we were weird, or we would end up with conflict and things like that, which most blue rays just don't like conflict. So after all this time of sort of holding things in, holding things back, it's quite hard to learn to actually just say what you think. It's quite a big step. But these energy pulses are actually about breaking down those inhibitions, those things that have held us back, that have held us in, that have stopped us from fully stepping into our truth and into our authentic power. This is not power over somebody. This is not power more than anybody. It's not about competition or comparisons. It's purely our own authentic power to stand in our truth and to stand in what's right for us. The more you do that, the more you empower other people to do the same. It's not something you have to go out there and push on people or teach them or educate them. And the more you do it, the more people will resonate with that and do it too. I mean, you to think about spending time with somebody who's really empowered and authentic and really speaks their truth, but in a good, positive, non-threatening way. It will also empower you to do the same. So that's how these energy principles are going to work. And I feel for blue rays, yeah, it's time to stand up. We've all got unique destinies, purposes, paths on this planet. It's not all the same just because we're blue ray. We just have an energy ray that connects us that's quite similar to each other, but we do have different purposes here. But empowering ourselves is the first step. We can't really do a lot with the rest of our abilities and gifts until we're able to stand strongly in our truth. At the moment, I see there's quite a big sort of, I don't want to call it a struggle because struggle is not quite the right term for it. It's like there's an extremely disempowering aspect and a very empowering aspect, and they're both growing. And I'm seeing it even in the spiritual community, like looking at some of the spiritual pages on Facebook and stuff. I spoke out about something yesterday because I'm seeing people like really, kind of getting into spirituality for the wrong reasons. It's a bit of an ego buzz, and they're like saying, private message me and I'll make you have good luck and make your ex-partner come back to you if you give me $40 US. I'm seeing a lot more of that than I used to, and it's really quite creepy, I think. And I don't like to see people falling for that. I mean, I work as a reader and I can guide people and I can give people an idea of where things are going and stuff like that, but I can't make it happen for them. That's not my job. And if I tried to do that, I would take on some energy debt that I wouldn't want to take on. If you do things like that and manipulate other people's energy, you're going to take on energy karma, energy debt. It's going to come back around and it's going to bite you in the bum. So I think these people, that whole cycle will play itself out because it can't carry on like that forever, but there's quite a bit of it going on. And I feel it's happening not just to annoy people. It's happening to empower people to actually stand in their truth, to be empowered and to take charge of their lives and decide that they can actually turn their lives around themselves. Any spiritual guide, mentor, teacher, healer who tells you they're going to do it for you is not being honest. They're not being truthful, because they can't do it for you, but they can guide you, support you, encourage you, and give you information as to how you can do it yourself. So that is much more of a true guide. But it's interesting, I just watched Teal Swan talk about spirituality on the internet and the negatives and the positives of it, and that was quite interesting. Slightly different, but interesting thing to look at. But so I have been seeing a lot of that. It's been bugging me a little bit, but then I thought about it a bit deeper and thought, well, okay, everything is perfect as it is, and this has its purpose. And yeah, there are people who will probably get promised these things that don't happen, and they will learn that they have to take charge and empower themselves through these lessons. So yeah, but I also feel like for Blu-rays, that kind of dishonesty is not where they're at. There's quite a genuine desire to help, to heal, to empower and to assist people. So I feel the Blu-rays really need to work together and come together and support each other. That's why I formed the Facebook group, so that people could. It's not about competing or knowing more or being more. All of that is actually 3D stuff. When it comes to the higher realms, we're all one, and we need to work together and support each other in our own truth and empower each other. So that's what I'd like to see happening for Blu-rays, because there's quite a unique role, and Blu-rays are people that attract people who need to talk, who have issues, who are finding life difficult. People will seek them out because they're easy to talk with. They don't tend to judge people, so that's another nice Blu-ray trait. Judgmentalism doesn't really gel with it, doesn't work with it. So yeah, try and stand in your truth. These energy waves, pulses are coming in to bring that to its next level, of awareness, to bring Blu-rays to standing in their truth and their empowerment, and to step fully up and to stand in their truth, and to not be afraid to speak their truth and live their truth. Don't live a life that doesn't fit you anymore. It'll become very, very uncomfortable. Live a life that excites you, that inspires you, and the more you do that, the more empowered you'll feel. It's like, almost energetically, like things are kind of being pushed in to become more in alignment and much more focused than they were. And yeah, Blu-rays need to do that too. Don't get too carried away with all the sensationalism of stuff, and focus on truth, focus on the truth of your being, and stand in it, stand strong in it. So at the moment we're all clearing huge amounts of old stuff. Some of it's ancient, some of it's from all the many lifetimes we've all had. Blu-rays are old souls and have had so many lifetimes that when people say to me, where do I belong, it's like, gosh, to source. You belong to source, you belong with source. That's where we all return in the end. But in the meantime, we've had many lifetimes in different dimensions, civilizations, lives, and some of them have held us back. Some of them have taught us some tough lessons, and at the moment we're undoing all of that old energy. We're clearing that. So it can be intense, it can feel kind of overwhelming at times. So good self-care and giving yourself some space when you need it, so that you don't get overwhelmed, is really important. And I do feel that it's going to start easing soon, like this is a big wave. It doesn't all happen in one big push. These energy pulses come in sets, and then you have a bit of a break and things normalize until the next one. But this one at the moment, I'm kind of feeling like it'll be passing in the next week. The next week it'll slowly start easing out and petering out, and things will feel a bit more settled and a bit more normal. So, but in the meantime, breathe. Remember to breathe. Remember this good stuff. It's essential. It's so, so important to keep hydrated while your body's transmuting energy. It needs it to keep all the electrons and everything working their way through things. And yeah, hang in there. It's an exciting ride. It's an exciting time. We're heading into even more exciting times. So anyway, lots of love to you all, and see you next time.